Welcome to Pinellas County Schools TV here on Channel 14 and YouTube. My name is Eric Keaton. Our team has great news. Thanks to Spectrum, we have received hundreds of videos featuring Pinellas County athletic events dating back to the 1980s and 90s. They are classic high school football, basketball, baseball games, and more, showcasing some of Pinellas County's greatest alumni and contests. Visit our website to see what games will be on the schedule, and we will ask for the community's input on social media to find out which game you would like to see in October. So tune in, subscribe to PCS TV on YouTube, and we'll see you on the classic Game of the Week.
Gibbs High School with a brand new school and a new coaching staff, again a contender in Class 5A. Tonight they welcome the Cougars from Countryside. It's Countryside versus Gibbs on the Catch 47 Game of the Week.
The Catch 47 Game of the Week is brought to you by Famous Tate. You make us famous. Famous Tate.
A special Thursday night edition of the Catch 47 Game of the Week. The Gladiators from Gibbs host the Cougars from Countryside. And a special good evening to you, everyone. I'm Drew Felios from Catch 47. Great to have you with this. Countryside and Gibbs offering one of the more interesting coaching matchups that we're going to see all season long. On one side, you've got a young, bright mind in Yusuf Shakir. Then on the other side, maybe the offensive guru in Pinellas County as we bring in Jeff Carlson, the former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, who is with me now for his third year. Jeff, the coaches, Yusuf Shakir, John Davis, can't get much better than that.
Drew, you would have been amused. I had them at the 50-yard line together. They were doing the best Lou Holtz imitation and Bobby Bowden of saying, come on, just take it easy on me here. These guys are sharp. They do a great job with disciplining their kids, keeping up, doing the right things, and we should have a very entertaining ball game tonight.
All right, let's talk about the players now. First from Countryside. Last year when we covered the Cougars, they took on Clearwater, and Dorrance Roberts was running all over the field. He's looking pretty fast tonight.
Well, he is. He had a great game last week, but it's the first time that he's really going to be the guy, and he's going to get to carry the bulk of the load. And he might do it from the quarterback position. He might do everything tonight. He can do a lot of things, but this guy is special. I like him because he slashes, and then he gets upfield. I like guys that go towards the end zone.
One of Countryside's biggest weapons last year was Richard Shockley, but tonight Shockley shifts to the defensive side of the ball. Jeff, why?
Well, because he's an athlete. He can do what they need, and you've got to stop the other team. And tonight, they've got to contain the quarterback, and they've got to do some things like that, and that's what Shockley's going to bring to them, being able to really control that defensive side of the ball.
For Gibbs on offense, young but very explosive, Jarvis West is the guy that we're going to be calling an awful lot. This kid can flat out play.
Coach Akir said he wishes he could have had him last year. He was about 125 pounds last year. He's up to about 155, 160, but you just see the one-handed catch. He's got it all. So they're going to get it to him in a lot of different ways. Talk to Coach Green beforehand. They're going to get it to him in a lot of ways, and he can, if he's in the open field, watch out.
And then for Gibbs on defense, a player that Coach Shakir says reminds him of Reggie Nelson back in his Tallahassee days, Gary Gaynor. This guy was all over the field last year when Gibbs took on Largo.
Again, another undersized football player, only 170 pounds, but he can play football, and that's exactly what we're talking about, sideline to sideline, and that is what they're going to stop because Countryside is going to play offense sideline to sideline, so they need him.
Gibbs won this game last year. Countryside wants revenge, but the Gladiators want to hold on their home field. It's Gibbs versus Countryside. Glad to have you with us on a Thursday night. The Game of the Week begins right after this. Gibbs will wear the blue jerseys tonight, Countryside the white. We're about to kick off here at Gibbs High School. Tonight we'll be following these storylines as we keep an eye on Countryside's tempo. They ran a lot of plays from scrimmage last year because of their hurry-up offense. Gibbs' ability to spread the wealth also. How many guys touch the football will be important. Then special teams, always a key no matter what football game you're calling or playing in. Tonight, Gibbs and Countryside, all the little things are going to matter because these two teams, Jeff, we feel matched up pretty evenly.
I think we're going to have a great game tonight. Different styles, but it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of different players on both sidelines are going to play tonight.
So set to kick off is Jarvis West for the Gladiators. Back to receive is Jalen Goodlow, but this one is fielded short. And it's going to be a short return up to the 32-yard line. The Countryside Cougars will start from there as Jimbo Schmelnick, the quarterback for Countryside. Interesting story. 4.0 GPA, one of the smartest kids in Countryside High School, period. There's the numbers last year, but he won the starting job and beat out a pretty good guy by the name of Ryan Epps, who's now the starting quarterback at Largo. As a fake handoff, and they get to the second guy. He's barely going to get back to the line of scrimmage. As a good job by the Gibbs defense to stack that one up. We look at the Countryside starters. Pendergast is the fullback. Dorrance Roberts, we talked about the open, so fast. With Todd Shorter, the baseball player. Jalen Goodlow, also a great athlete. There's the line. Joe Cruz, the only experienced offensive lineman who is back. As Dorrance Roberts takes it a couple yards off that right side. As you can tell, Jeff, the tempo very fast. This Countryside team doesn't wait a long time before they turn over plays.
Yeah, they run lots of guys off the sidelines. A lot of teams do no huddle. They just stay with their same personnel. These guys are running off the sideline, different people.
Smelnick with the fake hits Roberts, and Gibbs' defense is right there. That's going to be shy of a first down. So the Gladiators with a good job. You can see the speed that Gibbs brings to the football field.
Very conservative start for the Cougars. Coach Davis was playing it up before the game, as I was telling you, Drew, but they did come out very conservative in this first set.
So here's Pete Kondodiakis on to punt as the flag comes down. And that's going to be a critical penalty here to start this game.
That ball lining up in the neutral zone against Gibbs. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, I missed that. I was watching Countryside line up on offense, and they were so far off of the ball from the offensive side, I thought they were going to get an illegal procedure penalty based on that, and all of a sudden it goes the opposite way. That was a confusing one for me.
Jimbo Schmelnick now out of the shotgun. 3 wide receivers in the game for Countryside. Jake Pendergast in motion. Dorrance Roberts, there he is. A good cut at midfield, and Roberts gets all the way down to the 27-yard line.
This is about what they opened up with. Now, this is truly what they opened up with. But basically just an inside handoff. And you see, doesn't get touched, makes a nice move inside. And as I was talking about, north and south, getting to the end zone, gets moving forward.
Look at Dorrance Roberts. Got a taste there of the speed of number 20. We're going to see that a lot tonight. He is the home run hitter on this Countryside offense. There's the numbers. Last week against Pinellas Park, Countryside actually taken to the limit by the Patriots, but eventually came out on top as a player down on the field right now for Gibbs, as Yusuf Shakir is out there at the 40-yard line. So while we have a minute, Jeff Carlson, let's take a moment for Carlson's Corner. The keys to this week for this entire game.
Well, I thought, last year Gibbs won this matchup, and it came down to special teams. Gibbs just dominated it, and it really lost the game for Countryside. I think that on the other side, Josh Rembert, for the quarterback for Gibbs, he needs to make plays from the pocket because Countryside is going to try to contain him in that pocket. And then the subs must play like starters because both sides, both coaches are playing multiple players. They're going to bring in more players than we've ever seen on both sides, and they have to be able to step up and play like that. Can't have mistakes from the guys that come in off the sideline.
Well, there's Roman Mathis. He's the player that was injured, and this is a guy that Gibbs cannot afford to lose. The strongest player on the Gladiators team benches about 400 pounds, so they need him on defense to try and contain Dorrance Roberts. He limps off the field. At least that's a good sign. He can get off under his own power.
Last year we came here, and it was the first year that they had really had a weight program, and I was talking to Coach Shakir, and he was just saying, oh, yeah, we've got these guys. He started naming all these guys, 600-pound squats, 400-pound bench. Very impressive.
Here's Roberts again along the left side. He's got the hot hand. Dorrance Roberts out of bounds at the 12-yard line. A first down for Countryside. Roberts running well here on the opening drive.
We'll show you the replay here as they continue in their no huddle and try to keep moving up, but this time takes it around the outside and gets easy without even going down to the ground.
Fake the handoff this time. No, they do hand it off. Goodlow now with the football. He's inside the 10. So a good 1-2 punch. On one side, you got Dorrance Roberts, then Jalen Goodlow, number 8, comes into the game, and they like to switch it up. Goodlow may be the fastest guy on this team, so even faster than Roberts. Different formation here. Schmelnick hands off to Roberts again, and Dorrance is met at the line of scrimmage as he gets it down to the 5-yard line. Anytime you watch a John Davis coach team, you see the scheme come at you, probably unlike any other team in high school football. A lot of times you see teams, Jeff, and you're not exactly sure what they're trying to do. You never see that when John Davis is on the sideline.
I think tonight we're going to see a lot of formations, a lot of misdirection, a lot of different things coming at us. Jacquez Green out of the shotgun with his offense.
There's a handoff, and Terry Johnson trying to punch it in, but he's not going to get to the goal line, as that was 3rd down. This will bring up 4th if they spot him short. And an interesting call here for the Cougars earlier in this game.
And I think you go for it in this point. You've been moving the ball pretty well. Obviously, they got stopped in that very first drive, and had the penalty that continued this drive. But they are gonna stay in there, keep Jimbo Schmelnick in there, and go for it here. 4th and a full 1 yard.
Crowd's going to make some noise. 4th down, big play for the Cougars. They hand it off, and let's see if he got there. Tough to tell.
He got it. He got some initial push from the beginning. I'm sure this is a 1st down.
And that is a Countryside 1st down. So a fresh set for the Cougars here on this first drive. They'll spot it at about the 2.5.
And we talked about conservative. Their first 3 downs were conservative. They didn't get the 1st down. They get the penalty, keep the drive going. But they have just kept the ball on the ground, showing it at you some different directions. Now they go with the 3 backs in the backfield. Power I.
Foul, encroachment on the defense. Half the distance to the goal, still 1st down.
Only about a 14-inch penalty, but this is not the time that you can afford those types of movements.
Look at this formation for the Cougars. Who's going to get the football? It's Roberts. And look at the defensive tackling right there. Gang tackling, and it was led by big number 81, Tim Jackson, who was right there, but he had about 4 of his teammates right there with him.
Sure did. They brought that one back.
Jerry Daniels also in on that tackle. But Tim Jackson, a guy who Shakir thinks is going to be a Division I recruit, making that play. 2nd down. Schmelnick. He's got some room. Can he get to the edge? Touchdown, Countryside.
Didn't know if he was going to get there, finally turned in. And remember Chris Sims going into the corner of the end zone a couple years back. Maybe it was against the Carolina Panthers that it was so famous for. Turns it. Wow. Not the prettiest thing in the world, but when you score a touchdown, you got to like that.
So Jimbo Schmelnick, not the most athletic guy on the team, that's for sure, but really understands this Countryside offense better than anyone. That's why he's the signal caller.
I think he had a 42-yard run last week, so he's got some athletic ability in there. Just to see if he has to, if he gets a shot tonight.
Against the defense, penalty is declined. Retry for down.
To put the ball up in the air, see if he'll get a shot at it. But when they're conservative and they move the ball, you take time off that clock, and when you're in the no huddle all the time, but you're taking that time off the clock, keeping it running. We'll see how they decide to attack it.
Extra point up and good. And another look at the touchdown. Didn't come easy. Barely getting into the end zone was Jimbo Schmelnick. Countryside High School, really a high school known for their quarterbacks. When you think of the past, and Jay Davis, the son of John Harrison Beck, L.D. Crow, and still breeding quarterbacks and even sending them to other schools. When you take a look at guys like Ryan Epps, who did not win the job from Jimbo Chmelnick, went immediately to Largo. Now he starts for the Packers. Blake Robles now at Eastlake. So Ryan Singer, who was on the JV team last year for Countryside, he's at Dunedin now. So this Countryside program, not only breeding their own quarterbacks, but breeding them for other programs.
I guess so, and you know, you got to really credit number 9 right there, Jimbo Chmelnick, because he made them go away. You know, they up and left on their own because they couldn't beat him out. So only a junior, still got a lot of room to grow into his position.
Here comes Gibbs right back, and Mike Kendricks with a nice return across the 40. As the Gladiators will take over for the first time on offense. And Gibbs led by quarterback Josh Rembert. Last year we saw Lamar Hall lead Gibbs down the field on that classic drive against Largo. Josh Rembert, maybe even a more pure quarterback than Lamar Hall was. Look at the numbers last week. 18 of 22 passing in that win over Lakewood. And the first play, here's Mark Edwards. Edwards, not much. The Countryside defense right there, as big number 80, Richard Shockley, was there to make the stop. There's the Gibbs offense. Daniels, Jarvis West in the backfield. David Washington, Quentin McLaurin, and Andre Pearson, the skill players. There's the offensive line. Jared Walker, son of Jackie Walker, the old-time former Tampa Bay Buccaneer. Jared Walker, a guy with lots of potential on this Gibbs front. As this pass is complete and catching it, David Washington. He's got it at the 46-yard line. The Countryside Cougars defense, Wolfenbarger. Derek Wolfenbarger is a daredevil, as Coach Davis likes to say, with Mike Selke and Tyler Walker, Craig McManus, Blake Johnson, and Richard Shockley, who played offense last year. There's the secondary, Alex Dixon, a tremendous amount of potential in the defensive backfield for Countryside, as this is going to be stopped short of a first down. Cougars defense looking strong on this first possession.
They look really good. Bring up a 4th and 4, almost 5 yards to go, and they're going to punt the ball away on their first set. Jarvis Wessel kicked the ball off, didn't show a big toe on the kickoff. We'll see what he does with the punt, but when you've got an athlete back there, you always have to worry about what they can do from there.
Yusuf Shakir, so many years at Tallahassee Lincoln, a championship program in the Big Bend area. As this punt is going to go into the end zone, and Countryside will start at the 20-yard line. And with that, we will take our first break of the night, as Countryside with a 7-0 lead over Gibbs. We're back after this on the Catch 47 Game of the Week. Countryside with a 7-0 lead over the Gibbs Gladiators here at Gibbs High School, Newton Williams Memorial Field, and a gorgeous field it is. And a great job they did reconstructing this entire Gibbs athletic complex. As Dorrance Roberts, maybe a gain of 1 across that left side. And time now for our iPoll question. Get out your Bright House Network's remote controls. We want to know, in what year did Gibbs graduate Sean King? What year did Gibbs graduate Sean King? Finish 10th in the Heisman voting while at Tulane. There's the years. Was it 96, 97, or 1998? We'll give you the answer in just a few minutes.
Sean looked pretty sharp in that coat and tie.
So far, 8 carries, 47 yards for Dorrance Roberts.
You know, some of those iPoll questions, you guys can stump me depending on how far back you go in a high school question, but I know that answer.
Really? All right.
Why now, David?
Out of the shotgun. Chmelnick. 3rd down and 5 to go for the Cougars. 4 wideouts for Countryside. Chmelnick's got his man open, and it's complete. Caught. Up to the 35-yard line. Alton Taylor with his first catch of the night. So many different receivers to throw to in this Countryside attack.
Yeah, both clubs are going to do the same thing. They're going to spread the ball around. 6, 8 guys could touch the ball tonight for each club. I call them a club twice, school. But they really do let a lot of guys get involved.
Here's Roberts again. Dorrance Roberts tripped up, but still able to get 8 yards up the middle. As we take a look at this Gladiators defense with Russell Allen, Brinson, Roman Mathis, Tim Jackson, and Kerry Murphy. 5 guys up front. The 2 linebackers, Gary Gaynor, All-World, and Corzell Lee right there with him. Jacoby Dandy in the secondary with Maurice Kendricks, James Irvin. As Roberts carries it again. This time he's got a first down, but the ball comes out and it's still live. Picking it up for Countryside, number 64, Joe Cruz, the most experienced offensive lineman for the Cougars. And Jeff, no one saw the ball come out.
Yeah, one of only 2 stars. This is a great call by the referees. I'll give him the credit because that ball was out. It was down on the ground, and Cruz does a great job picking it up and advancing that football. One of only 2 starters from last year's offense.
Boy, Joe Cruz looked like a running back on that play, didn't he? As Roberts carries it again, and one thing you notice about Dorrance Roberts, he gets to the hole very fast, doesn't do a lot of dancing, and he's forward. Every time he gets hit, he's always going forward.
Well, the Buccaneers are liking that with Ernest Graham, that style, hitting and continuing to fall forward. Roberts does a good job with that as well, but he's got the home run potential as well.
Second down and 5. Schmeller throws it wide. Was looking for Jalen Goodlaw. You know, we talk about Dorrance Roberts last year in that game when Countryside went to Clearwater. Your substitute that night on the Game of the Week was Lawrence Samuels of the Tampa Bay Storm, and he spoke of Dorrance Roberts with great praise. Loved his football game.
I'm willing to do the same. I'm willing to talk about him in good terms.
Just telling
glowing terms. So far, so good. They're up 7-0.
Not easy to impress Lawrence Samuels, who wears number 22 for the Storm, but Roberts did it that night.
All right, on the offense, 5-yard penalty, replay 3rd down.
Lawrence Samuels knows something about playing some good football. He's been around for about forever with the Tampa Bay Storm, breaking all kinds of career records.
Of course, Roberts shared the backfield last year with Maurice Threets. Threets has now graduated, and Roberts expected to get a lot more carries this year. He's done so far. This play is blown dead, and Jeff, now a conversation down on the field.
Usually the referee and the tackles don't have conversation. You must be bleeding on the elbow and bringing in a replacement. Got to take care of blood these days. But this will be the first time that really the Countryside's been in a 3rd and 9 type situation. See what Jimbo Schmelik has up the field as they try to get to the sticks.
3rd down and 9. Long yards for the Cougars. Schmelik rifles it, and it's incomplete.
Looked like it might have caught him just on the back hip. Tried to throw the slant. Steps right into it. Catchable ball. I don't know if he would have gotten the first down if he were to have caught that ball a little bit on the back shoulder.
Well, he's looking for his tight end, Mike Selke. As we get a look at Pete Kondodiakis, one of the most talented punters in the entire country. This kid is a weapon for the Cougars. First look at his leg. He's going to try and pooch this one as it's fielded at the 10-yard line. Here comes Jarvis West for Gibbs. And an athletic move for West. He gets it across the 20 as the Gladiators will try and get something going on offense. Gibbs has been quiet so far. Not much happening on their first drive.
I was watching Kondodiakis kick the ball across the field when he was warming up, and he does have a heck of a leg. And where they really advance, when guys get really good, is what they can do right there. Put the ball on the 10-yard line. Let your guys get down there, hang it up, make them fair catch it somewhere between the goal line and the 10-yard line. He puts it on the 10 and allows his guys to come down and stop Gibbs at the 20.
There's the roster breakdown. 22 seniors, 19 juniors, 4 sophomores on this Gibbs team. As Mark Edwards has it for 5 yards, and got Edwards, Got Quentin McLaurin on offense for Gibbs. As we get a look at Jaquez Green, the offensive coordinator for this Gibbs team. Former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, of course, and University of Florida wide receiver. Rembert's throw, a little bit too high as Gibbs looks out of sync so far offensively.
Yeah, so far you said it right. Out of sync, just haven't gotten the rhythm yet. But we were just showing Coach Green, he was one of those smooth runners. He could just fly down the field. But I was talking with him before the game, and he's really got this offense under control, really into it, and sounded like he's having a real good time with these kids.
Went to Peach County High School in Georgia. That's where he played quarterback, wide receiver, and running back, and really developed his love for high school football, and great to see him giving back as that pass incomplete. And Gibbs will have to punt.
Drew, we talked in Carlson's corner. We talked about what the keys to the game. And Rembert throwing from the pocket, being able to make plays from the pocket. And there's 2 in a row right there that he wasn't so far. So first quarter, we're winding it down here in the first quarter. And Gibbs has not done anything offensively yet. But those are the plays that have to be made because he's not getting hit as he's throwing it. He's got to be able to make those on target.
Jarvis West back to punt for Gibbs. And Todd Shorter will field it at the 42. Well, he talked about Jaquez Green and his past at Peach County High and the University of Florida. This is his work playing for the Tampa Bay Bucks not too long ago. And for a while, Jeff was the featured receiver for the Buccaneers.
You know, he came out of Steve Spurrier's system from the Florida Gators and running wide open a lot of times. And he's a great kick return. You can see him taking it all the way around the corner. It was a speed guy, very, very small, and he's still not very big. He loves to run. I said, I hated running. I like to lift weights. He likes to run, and he's still doing it.
Smell it. Nice fake. And hit Shorter on the slant. Todd Shorter. First down, Countryside. Well-designed play by the Cougars.
And that's John Davis's offense right there. They run more screens in high school than any team in the country probably. They just work it left, right, middle screen. They've got them all, and these are the kind of plays you'll be seeing from him as they get rolling here.
This is Todd Shorter's second year in football, and he's caught on quick. A great baseball player on this Countryside team. Schmelik hands off. Here's Terry Johnson. Johnson busting it outside, and another first down for the Cougars as the heir apparent to Dorrance Roberts runs for 16 yards.
Just a sophomore, but he's 6 foot, 185 pounds. See, built real nice. Takes all the way around the left side. He was gone. And then Jacoby Dandy was able to pick him up.
So 1st and 10. And it's Roberts this time. He's got 4 more yards. Boy, this Countryside team really looking like they are on a mission tonight. That loss last year to Gibbs really stung early on in the season when Yusuf Shakir shocked John Davis's team. And Coach Davis says this Gibbs team's so much different than the ones that he coached against that were coached by Alvin Davis. And that's nothing against Coach Davis. Did a great job here, but John Davis says that these Gibbs teams, Jeff, much more disciplined. They rarely have bad plays now at Gibbs. The guys really fundamentally look so much better than they did 3 and 4 years ago. And you mentioned, Jeff, the fact that Gibbs has been able to get in the weight room a lot more, and that's made them much more formidable foe here in Pinellas County as this ball's incomplete.
That was a 3rd down and 3, and Jimbo just didn't get a handle on the ball. He tried to get rid of it too quickly, and that is the one thing on a shotgun. And Drew, I spent some time watching Armwood and Plant this week, and same thing. When you're on a shotgun, the quarterback, it's one of the downsides of it, has to try to handle the ball, catch it, spin the ball around in his hand till he likes it, and still keep his rhythm of his steps going and his balance and make the throws. And he just didn't have the ball in his hand before he tried to throw that quick slant.
So it's 4th down, 3 yards to go, and Countryside now will send their field goal kicker out there. William Griswold will tee it up. He missed 3 last week against Pinellas Park. This kick is also no good.
Coach Davis got to build some confidence back into him.
Well, Jeff, we mentioned last year's Gibbs and Largo game in which Lamar Hall led the Gladiators right down the field. This game was a Catch 47 classic. What a drive this was, and one of the great drives in Gibbs history. Larry Murphy making most of those catches.
Yep. An unbelievable diving catch in there.
As Jarvis West with a good run off the left side, and he gets it near a first down. Let's take a look at the last play. Remember when Gibbs was about to score to win the game.
Yeah, clock was winding down, and they got a little confused. They had a guy that was hurt. He would try to run off the field. The clock was winding down. He had to run back onto the field. Then they went with a quarterback sneak and could not get it in without the clock.
And with that, we will end the first quarter. It's been all Countryside so far, but Gibbs trying to put their first drive together when we come back here to Gibbs High School. Drew Felios, Jeff Carlson here at Gibbs High School. As we enter the second quarter, Countryside holds a 7-0 lead over the Gladiators. The series history, Countryside winning in 2005 and 2006 and winning handedly. Look at those margins. Gibbs came back, though, 21-9 last year. Yusuf Shakir's first year here at Gibbs, immediately restoring pride back into the program, and it was a shock to John Davis's team. So first down and 10 for Gibbs High School. And here comes number 23. He's Mike Kendricks. And Kendricks has a pickup of 4 yards. That'll bring up second down.
Coach Green said that he was going to get the ball, hand the ball off to probably 5 or 6 different guys, maybe throw the ball to 6 or 7 different guys, and they all know the plays. They all know the different positions. And I was asking him, well, what kind of a system are you running? What kind of plays are you running? And he said, well, when this guy does this, the other player knows that he can't do that anymore. So you're starting to ask people to know. He said, nope, they know. So that's pretty good.
Here comes Rembert. Tries to hit his tight end, and it's incomplete. Good job to break it up by Mitch Roniker.
This time they get the design rollout on the run, get the tip, couple of tips. Good defense by Countryside.
Roniker, a junior defensive back, 5'11". And a good play that time. Third down and 6. Gibbs needs to make this first down. Rembert. Tons of time and hits his wide receiver. It's Jarvis West all the way to the 49-yard line. First down, Gladiators.
Wow, he was back there about all day and a half. Look at the guys up front, really just getting a 2-man pass rush. The other 2 guys were stymied at the line. And then he finally found Jarvis West open. I wanted to see something happen there. They were able to corral him pretty good.
There's Jarvis West. Natural athlete he is. Mark Edwards carries. And another good play as Max Wolfenbarger, defensive lineman right there to make the tackle. Also Richard Shockley right there. It's Richard Shockley. Very good athlete for Countryside. 9 tackles last week versus Pinellas Park.
I think there were 4 for a loss. Tackles for loss. He had a bunch of touchdowns last year playing running back and tight end.
He's adjusted well as Rembert takes it along the left side. Picks up 3 yards. It'll bring up a third down and 6.
You see, both these offenses are so diversified. We just saw a little option there, running Rembert into the option, but they're also running the multiple option game that so many teams are running out of the shotgun these days, the spread, and then throwing from the pocket. And both clubs doing all kinds of different things from the offensive side of the ball.
There's the rushing yard comparison. Rembert in all sorts of trouble, and Richard Shockley's going to be the first guy to get there.
I think this is inexperience. I thought he could have gotten out of there, probably left or right, but Coach Davis was saying that, their number one job was to contain him. I thought he would at least try to have outrun Derek Wolfenbarger there because he came out of it, but as he went back, he had nowhere to go. After that, takes a big loss, 4th down and 20.
There's the week he had against Pinellas Park. Richard Shockley playing well again tonight. Todd Shorter, not much doing, is right there to make the play. Gary Gaynor there to wrestle him down. As we take a look at the district for Countryside, 5A District 9, you see the Cougars right there with Dunedin, who is the odds-on favorite to win it this year. Falcons 1-0. There you see Countryside. Countryside did not make the playoffs last year. It was a crushing setback for the Cougars. And not just that, Jeff, but also several players from Countryside last year are involved in off-the-field incidents, and that is something that Coach John Davis really says hurt the hardest. Not so much the football, but that his players simply did not behave as young men, as making the stop right there, Russell Allen. It's not always football, though, that you can judge your football team.
That's for sure, and he's really happy with the group he's got this year. He thinks that they've got that part under control, and you can see that Tyler Moore just wasn't able to handle Russell Allen right there as he comes around and makes a big stop in the backfield on a run. Usually don't have a 5-yard loss on a run play like that, and that's a big defensive play for Gibbs.
Second down, 15 to go. Jimbo Schmelik has played well so far. Here he comes to the left side. Schmelik wants to run, and he's out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Every Monday night at 6, 8, and 10 o'clock, we invite you to join us on Catch 47 for the Beef O'Brady's High School Scoreboard. The Bay Area's only high school sports show. More highlights, more interviews, more stats than any other local sports show. It's the High School Scoreboard every Monday, 3 times to watch it at 6, 8, and 10. Third down and 15. Schmelik gets it away, and is it a catch?
He's going to give it to him.
They will give it to him. It's going to be 2 yards shy of the first down. Is Todd Shorter the one to bring that in?
Very tough throw. You take your left-handed quarterback on a design rollout to the right on a 3rd and 15, and he gets it within 1 yard of the first down stripe. But it's very tough to ask your quarterback to do that.
If you're a left-handed quarterback, also, how tough is that to do? I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Taking your left-hander and rolling him out to the right when it's that kind of distance. If you're just going to try to throw a little 5-yard out route or something in the flat, not so bad, but to really roll him all the way out and where you want to be able to stop, turn around, and then make a throw downfield, and threw it on the run, and so it was a pretty nice throw to get it within 1 yard.
Countryside showed that they wanted to go for it, but a flag came down.
Substitution, breaking the huddle with 12 men on the offense. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
Well, it looked like the Cougars wanted to go for it, but not anymore.
Yeah, they were going to go for it, but, you know, in this type of situation, that's probably can be a very common error for the Cougars because they try to run, like I said, they're in a no huddle. When you're in no huddle, you have 11 men at the line of scrimmage, right? You're ready to go again, but they shuttle players on and off the field between plays.
Here's Kondodiakis on to kick it away. Cougars want more hang time out of him as he's got the distance, doesn't stay in the air long. Here's Jarvis West. He's dangerous. And if it's not for Richard Shockley, Jarvis West may still be running. Shockley makes the stop by the jersey at the 47-yard line.
Yeah, he snuck between some guys, and I thought he was going to go. Shockley does a good job just holding on to the jersey.
Jeff, there's the maturation of this Gibbs team. It's come in bunches as Gibbs has kind of learned from their defeats. You see, though, they've gotten closer and closer in some of these games that they're going to try and turn around this year. Not a lot of margin of points separates in those games, but the Gladiators learning from that, and this year hope to turn that around. Coach Shakir said last year was simply a building block for what they expect to accomplish this year.
Both clubs, though, Drew, still young. Both still working at bringing them up.
Second down and 6. And the handoff is to Mike Kendricks, and Kendricks close to a first down.
He's going to be just inches short on 3rd down.
Andrew Davis makes the stop for Countryside. 3rd down and 1. Here's Kendricks one more time, and Countryside is there. As big number 53, Blake Johnson, makes the stop.
I don't think they took him back very much. I think they put it right at the line of scrimmage is what the stop. It looked like they dropped. Well, no, the yardage markers did move back about a yard, because it did look like he took him for a yard loss. Nice play.
There's a look at Blake Johnson,
the man in the middle.
A lot of role players on this Countryside team. Very disciplined and well coached. Coach Shakir still looking for the first points from his Gibbs team. Jarvis West kicks it away, and it's fielded by Todd Shorter. So Countryside will get the football again. Every Thursday night on Catch 47, we invite you to join us for the Jim Levitt Show as Coach Jim Levitt sits down with Rock Riley. Jim Levitt Show will recap the previous week, plus look forward to the next week and a player profile every week on the Jim Levitt Show. Let's take a break. 5:26 left to go in the half. 7-0 Countryside. Pinellas County football on a Thursday night. Gibbs and Countryside, the Cougars leading the Gladiators here in the second quarter. It's a 1st down and 10 for Countryside. They'll spread it wide. And here come the Cougars with Jalen Goodlow. Not much doing along that left side. Is this Cougars program, when you look at the success of other Pinellas County schools, John Davis has them right at the top. 47 regular season wins over the past 6 years. That's tied for the best. 2nd down and 6.
Hey, wing drop, wing drop, wing drop.
Schmelik hands off to Roberts, and Dorrance Roberts doesn't get much. You see how pesky this Gibbs team can be, as Corzell Lee is there with Gary Gaynor to make the stop.
Both teams so far in the first half have really struggled in the 3rd down situations. Here's another 3rd down and 5. And they just have not been, either team has been consistent trying to get rid of the ball through the air.
3rd down and 5. Schmelik, little quick slant, and it's a little too quick.
A little too much juice on that one inside.
And a good job in coverage as Gary Gaynor was right there.
Alton Taylor just can't handle this. A little bit out in front. You got to put that right on him when it's a little slant, especially when there's linebackers lurking around ready to take somebody's head off. But again, you know, Drew, I was talking about out of the shotgun, it's hard to catch and get yourself ready to throw that football within the first couple of steps. That's one of the reasons that coaches still go under center. Not a whole heck of a lot of them anymore, but when you need those quick releases, you go under center.
Pete Kondodiakis, as a flag comes down, kicks this one away. Here's Maurice Kendricks. And Kendrick gets it up to midfield, but let's check out the flag here and see if this is another 4th down penalty on Gibbs. If it's on Gibbs, it's going to be close to another Countryside 1st down.
Asking for blue captain.
It's on the Cougars.
Do you give one of the better punters in the country another shot at it? If you've got a good punt returner like Jarvis West, maybe you do.
They've also got a very good punt block team.
Not enough men on the line of scrimmage at the snap. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty. Replay 4th down. Re-kick.
I don't know if you remember, Drew, back to the very first punt of the game. Gibbs was lined up in the neutral zone, and they continued the drive for Countryside. But I said, well, I saw the offensive line wasn't on the ball. Well, it came back to haunt them here as they back them up 5 yards.
Gibbs blocked 13 kicks last year, so we'll keep that in mind as Kondodiakis stands at his 6-yard line. This is a low snap, and he gets it away. Here's Jarvis West. West is a dangerous returner. Jarvis West into the clear. Nobody's going to stop him. touchdown.
Late flag. I think it's going to get a bad block after the West was long gone, and emotions got the better of somebody back here, and it's going to come back. Unacceptable, Drew. Absolutely unacceptable. This is what we're talking about, the coaching staff doing the right thing. This is where an emotion got the best of them and cost your team a touchdown.
During the return, illegal block in the back against the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot, first down.
Well, Yusuf Shakir can't believe it.
Oh, unacceptable, because he's gone. You know, he's down the football field. Now watch this. Watch this, number 7. Oh, he's 10, 15 yards down the field. I actually don't know how bad that was in the back, but there's no reason to hit somebody when you don't make the referee make a call like that, regardless. And but this is also one of the things, Drew, in the whole points of this game was that Countryside would have to be disciplined on special teams because of those types of situations.
Here's Mark Edwards as Gibbs tries to make up for it. 4-yard gain. Talked about Gibbs and what they've done on special teams in the past. It's a big part of their game here. Look at that. 13 block kicks, 8 special teams touchdowns last year. Second down. Short gain for the Gladiators. Never understood, Jeff, why on a play like that a guy would try and block somebody whenever there's absolutely no chance that the ball carrier can get run down.
Well, sometimes, you know, football is an emotional game. And, you know, why do they have pregame speeches and people talk about, I'll run through a wall for that guy and different things like that? Well, you want, because we're sitting here on the sideline, we're just saying, oh, well, I can't believe he did that. But it's the emotion of a football game, and you're taught to go hit somebody. Keep going. I yell at my little kids, you know, my son's team, go hit somebody again, and then all of a sudden it's at a bad angle.
Renberg gets body slammed at the 45 as big number 99 Tyler Walker was there to wrestle him down. That's another huge loss for Renberg and this Gibbs offense. He cannot keep killing the Gladiators this way.
Well, and you see basically how did this turn out based on this. Now you got to watch swinging around the neck and actually grabbing up around the neck. But see the difference in what happened here, the turnaround of that penalty. And now you're punting from midfield basically when you had the game tied up here before half.
Jarvis West punts it away, and it's going to take a bounce. And this is a pretty good bounce for Gibbs. Still not able to get it before it heads into the end zone, so it will be a touchback. And Countryside will start on the 20-yard line. Our next game of the week, tomorrow night, we are headed up north. And next week, we've got Eastlake and Tarpon. Plus, we're headed down to Manatee County. There you go. Doubleheader once again next week on the Catch 47 Game of the Week.
Let's see what they want to do. 7-0 going into half with 1:40 left. See if they get conservative here, just run out the clock. See if they get lucky with something with a missed tackle or just get a big hole. And that's what it looks like with what they're going to do. Just get out of this first half with a 7-0 lead. Hey, and Drew, I am going to head down to the field. I'm going to do some triple duty tonight and go talk to the coaches here as they head off for halftime and with a special halftime feature.
All right, Jeff Carlson now heading down to the field. Stay tuned at halftime. Jeff will have our special halftime show. Plus, we'll check in with Rock Riley at our Catch 47 studios. You'll get the latest sports from the day. There's Jeff heading down from the press box. The first time he hosts the halftime show. And I get to simply kick back and relax up here. My job is too easy. Countryside with a good job offensively in this first half as Terry Johnson takes the carry. But for Gibbs, they only hope that they can continue to keep this game close, kind of like they did last year on the Game of the Week when they took on Largo. Largo had some good plays. They controlled most of the game, but Gibbs was able to keep it close by playing tremendous defense as somebody moves early that time.
Encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
That's the third penalty tonight on Gibbs. As a timeout's been called on the field, Countryside wants to talk this one over. Well, when we come back, the final 39 seconds of this half, Countryside's trying to get some points before halftime. We'll be right back. Countryside Cougars led by Jimbo Schmelik here in the first half, enjoying a 7-0 lead. And there's the roster breakdown. Not many returning starters on this Countryside team, so while the Cougars are athletic, they lack experience. Jimbo Schmelik still has one more year after this one. 2nd down and 1. Cougars still with the chance to get some points. As they hand it off up the middle and the pile drags itself to the 49. It's a Cougars first down, but keep an eye on the clock now at 32 seconds. Let's see if the Cougars try and take a shot here on a big play. Terry Johnson has checked into the game at tailback. Schmelik fakes it, looking long, but nobody to throw to, finally unloads it. And it's Richard Shockley now playing offense up to the 49, under 10 seconds to go. And that may be the last play of the half for Countryside. The Cougars will take a timeout now with 2.4 seconds to go. So Countryside, I guess, wants one more play. Well, the Countryside Cougars 1-0 coming into tonight. They hope to leave here 2-0. And then it's on to St. Pete. They'll also take on Dunedin, head to Tarpon Springs for a date with the Spongers. Come back home to take on Palm Harbor. Then you got Bogey, Clearwater, Eastlake, and Seminole. But those next 3 games, St. Pete, much improved. Dunedin, maybe the class of the district, and then Tarpon Springs. Countryside with a tough road ahead here in Pinellas County. Well, if you've just joined us, the Cougars took their very first drive all the way down the field. Jimbo Schmelik with a Chris Sims-like play, diving into the corner of the end zone to give Countryside a 6-0 lead. Since then, after the extra point, no scoring in this game, as Jarvis West for Gibbs had a touchdown called back on a punt return. That would have tied the game after an extra point. But it is 7-0 Cougars. Here's Ryan Daly in at quarterback now for Countryside. He'll throw it out, and an interesting defense for Gibbs as they got to make the tackle. Todd Shorter with the football, and a scary play as Shorter gets it all the way to the 18. Time does expire as both teams will head to the locker room. When we come back, Jeff Carlson will take it away on the field. We're at halftime. Countryside leading Gibbs 7-0 on the Catch 47 Game of the Week.
Welcome back to the Catch 47 Game of the Week. I'm here with Coach Shakur of the Gibbs Gladiators, who haven't been able to put the ball in the end zone. Actually, you did. You've got to be a little bit frustrated.
Yeah, we're a little frustrated. We just got to do what we're supposed to do. Just do little things, and we'll be okay.
It seemed like a little disjointed, just not getting into a rhythm. Rembert didn't throw the ball real well in the first half. What are you going to say when you get in there?
Well, we just got to calm the kids down. We have a young team, so we just have to calm them down and just get them playing. We took their best shot. I think they had about the best first half you could really have, and we had about the worst, and it's still 7-0. So we still in the game, so we got a shot.
What about getting off the field on third down, some of the mistakes, just even lining up, on the third downs?
Yeah, well, we just got to get used to what's going on, and now we have a first half, and we still down 7-0. We still in the game.
One strike away, Coach.
Yes.
Good luck. All right, we'll see you in the second half. All right, we're going to have plenty more when we come right back here on the Game of the Week. We'll have USF, lots of stuff for you. We'll see you right in a minute. And it is a Thursday night edition of the high school game of the week right here on Catch 47. We have Countryside with a 7-0 lead over Gibbs High School. It's been a battle down on the ground. The clock has moved fast, but we're having a good time on a Thursday night. Thanks for joining us tonight. Let's take a look at what we will be seeing here right here on Catch 47 game of the week. Tomorrow night we are heading up the Sun Coast Parkway to Nature Coast. Springstead will travel up to Nature Coast, and then next week we will be at East Lake and Tarpon Springs, also on a Thursday night. Don't forget that. Mark your calendars. Thursday night, East Lake and Tarpon Springs. Friday night, the big matchup down in Manatee at Southeast. And can't wait for Gaither at Jefferson. We'll see if Jarvis Giles is back from a bad leg. Hopefully he's back by that time of the year. And we've been talking about Largo and Dunedin, some of the quarterbacks, some of the movement are over here in Pinellas County. Can't wait for that. Lakeland at Lake Gibson. Lakeland has already started off big. They are the same juggernaut that they have been in a long time, those Dreadnoughts. And I can't wait to see Torian Austin and Aaron Murray go at it through the air. That should be a great one, and there are still plenty more. That's just the first part of the season. We've got plenty of playoffs coming at you as well. Well, it is 7-0 here at Gibbs High School.
Gibbs High School, the side tonight where the Gladiators trail the Countryside Cougars and John Davis's team by a score of 7-0. At halftime. First half highlights. Dorrance Roberts got it going on the ground. Roberts with 2 big carries to get the Cougars in range, and then Jimbo Schmelik off the left side. The more and more I see that play, the more and more it does look like Chris Sims instead of Jimbo Schmelik. Good call, Jeff. Is Richard Shockley with the big quarterback sack, took Gibbs out of field goal range, and this a huge return by Jarvis West that was called back off the block in the back. Right there, you're going to see it on number 34. That would have been a huge play in this game,
well,
but
Shockley saved another one on the opposite side of the field earlier on a punt return.
Absolutely. As you look at the rushing yards, Dorrance Roberts and the Cougars ringing up 140 yards to 13. That really the story so far. Gibbs has not been able to establish any type of ground game or really any type of consistent offense for that matter. Penalties not really a factor, but running the football, always a key in high school football.
Yeah, talked to Coach Shakir as he was going off the field, and boy, he's got that Tony Dungy-like mentality, right? We're going to take care of business, go in, and I like that. I like that workmanlike attitude, and just don't go too high, don't get too low, but they've got to start sustaining a couple drives here.
Onside kick, and the ball's loose. Looked like Gibbs was able to fall on it, but we'll see. Yes, and barely. Jaqueen Butler able to scoop it up. Man, a scary play for Gibbs. I think Countryside, as they lined up, Gibbs didn't believe that they were going to onside kick it.
But Drew, for knowing you're going to kick it onside, to have nobody around it, there's nobody there to pick up the ball when it was loose. That's the idea, is to have a loose ball on the ground, and you're supposed to have some guys ready to jump on it. They had run past it, I guess, because he got to it so quickly and popped it out in front. Here's a broken play, and no yards and a cloud of dust.
So Josh Rembert continues to struggle for this Gibbs offense. We asked you in the first half, what year did Sean King finish 10th in the Heisman voting when he was at Tulane?
I cannot believe they missed this so badly, Drew.
Well, that is how they voted. Now what's the answer? 1998.
You know it was 98 because in 1999 he was a rookie with the Buccaneers, and they went to the NFC Championship game. Everybody knows that, Drew.
Sean King thrust into duty that year after Trent Dilfer went down with the injury. Sometimes you just get your years mixed up.
Another mistake.
Ball on the ground, and here comes Josh Rembert, who takes a shot. As number 4 right there to level him, Andrew Davis, the second big play Davis has made tonight.
About the worst start to the second half that they could have. They made enough mistakes in the first half for the whole game, and you can see this. Doesn't have his mouthpiece in, didn't expect the football, and hits him right in the face. And they're at 3rd and 20, and this is getting far too familiar for the Gibbs Gladiators.
Long way to go, and this is not where you want your young quarterback to be faced with. Rembert, lots of time to throw. Here comes the pressure now, and the ball's loose, and jumping on it is Countryside. That's number 44 recovering, Derek Wolfenbarger. In the right spot, it's going to be Countryside football.
Well, it looked like he was locking on Jarvis West, who was running up the left side seam. And you see, watch his eyes, left side seam, it didn't happen. And then he was in trouble to find something else. And then big play right there by big number 99, 6 foot, 195-pound junior Tyler Walker makes the play.
Walker makes the play. Wolfenbarger capitalizes. And the Countryside defense, boy, they've been the story tonight. But, Jeff, that's got to be about the 4th or 5th play where Rembert has been sacked about more than 10 yards back from his line of scrimmage. If you're Jaquez Green right now, what do you tell him?
Well, they just have to take a deep breath again and start over because they came out. They had a broken play on the first play just from the bad handoff. And then that play with the ball going into their face, into his face when he wasn't even looking, that's something that you start with on day one. So that very frustrating for the coaching staff.
Jaquez Green learned a lot of his offensive philosophy from Steve Spurrier. John Davis, Countryside coach, says, I can tell when I watch them on film, he takes a lot out of the playbooks of Coach Spurrier. But Countryside's been able to handle it so far. And here is Jimbo Schmelik. 3rd down, 7. Schmelik, he's got a man, and it's caught. His favorite receiver tonight, Todd Shorter, has a Cougars first down.
Now that's what the Countryside Cougar fans have gotten used to over the last few years, watching LD Crow and the likes of those guys. Harrison Beck throw a 10, 12-yard out route on time, let him catch it for a first down. That's the way it's designed.
So a new set of downs for Countryside. 1st and 10. Now they'll run the football. Terry Johnson had a good first half. Not much on that carry. Well, Countryside's a team that they said, when you talk to Coach John Davis, they left about 30 points on the field last week against Pinellas Park. Patriots not really a powerhouse in Pinellas County, but Pinellas Park led Countryside 6-3 in the 3rd quarter. Countryside felt they really struggled in that game. Here comes Johnson again.
They missed a bunch of field goals last week. Griswold's really got to get his confidence back. He's got a big leg. He can do it, but he hasn't been successful so far this year. And, you know, if you are John Davis, and I know he's excited about Terry Johnson, only a sophomore, but you can see just the size and the power that he's got. That's somebody to be excited about for the next 3 years, this year included, and the next 2 after this.
Schmelik, 3rd down and 4. Play fake. Throwing again. He's got another man, and it's number 90 right there. It's big tight end Tyler Moore, who is just a sophomore. Look at the size on Tyler Moore.
Thundering around back there in the backfield. Jimbo's been pretty successful moving on the run. He had a really great one at the half when I wasn't up here. And, wow, that guy is a big boy.
6'5", 250 pounds.
He looks like he's bigger than 250.
And he's only in 10th grade. Are you kidding me?
Well, he can run out there and catch the ball, but we've seen some of those big guys sometimes when they're that big and powerful, as he just basically moved the entire defensive line up front by himself, it looked like anyway. I'm sure there was some help in there, but those guys get moved inside as they grow up into college players.
Terry Johnson scores the touchdown for Countryside. And it was the offensive line surging him forward, and it's 13-0.
See if we can get an upper view of that. But Tyler Moore, who we were talking about, the tight end, he got a good surge, but so did the rest of that offensive line on the right side. They just moved everybody back there.
Here's William Griswold on for the extra point. And the kick is up and good. So Countryside pitching a shutout so far, and Terry Johnson, the sophomore running back, able to score.
Oh, Johnson didn't actually have to hit anybody too much. You see the tackle pushing him back. Big number 70 leading the way. Brandon Somerville doing a great job in there, moving it back. the whole pile back. Well, Gibbs needs a return. That's what they do. That's their specialty, special teams. They've got to get Jarvis West to break one that he almost broke. He broke one and then almost broke another one earlier in the first half. They've got to get something out of him, and then they have to get disciplined on offense. They have been extremely sloppy, and I don't have to feel bad saying that. They've been very sloppy, trying to execute plays in this. Well, so far we're 8:02 left in the third quarter, and it's been the entire game. They have not been able to sustain a drive based on mistakes.
Countryside coming out in the second half with simply a sense of urgency. They tried the onside kick, nearly got it, but were able to get it off the Gibbs turnover, and they take it right down the field for a score. Here's a short kick. And Jarvis West trying to find a seam. No flags. Touchdown Gibbs.
That was an amazing run because he was pinned up against the sideline the entire way. One little jab step inside, and he was able to stay on the sideline to get this back to a one-score ball game. I guess he is pretty electric. Coach Shakir couldn't stop talking about him and how special he is. And they pin him to the sideline. This is what you want. You're the special teams coordinator. That's what you want. It gets a good block by 15 inside there. That one move stunned the kicker, and he was able to just run down the sideline. I thought they were in good position to take care of that, and all of a sudden they got their first score on the board.
Jarvis West had one called back, but that one went straight to the house. And here comes Gibbs on for the two-point conversion, and they've got it. As David Washington able to catch it, and all of a sudden, this game's interesting.
Coach Shakir is an interesting coach. If you miss that two-point conversion at this point, and you do score again, you're forced to convert a two-point conversion. But now that he gets it, and I guess this is a better time to go for it when you don't need it, to surprise the defense. Now you've got 8 on the board. You do score another touchdown, and a simple kick wins the football game for you. But that is an interesting move. Not very many coaches would pull that off.
Well, the kicking game for Gibbs, not a strong point this year. As you can see, they've got Jarvis West kicking off. He is not a natural kicker, although he's a tremendous athlete.
He is certainly a natural runner, but he is not a natural kicker. You are right about that.
Well, there's the pass, a good one by Jacoby Dandy, and he hit David Washington with a dandy pass. And here's Jarvis West. Jarvis West wears that number 5 just like Jaquez Green did back in his glory days. Here comes Countryside as Alton Taylor able to get it to the 40-yard line, and some electrifying plays over the past few minutes in this game. Every week on Catch 47, our Catch 47 Top 10 poll changes. Now keep in mind this is also done with a contribution by 620 WDAE and the St. Pete Times. Armwood still the #1 team. How about Lakeland, that big win in West Virginia, just beating Pittsburgh Central Catholic 35-0. Here's Schmelik. Jimbo Schmelik, not much. That's going to be no gain, bring up second down.
First time, this looks like a design keeper to the quarterback, just gets to the sideline and for no gain basically, but it looked like that's what they tried to do. That looks like a run play to me. You see those hand signals? That's a run play. Lock them up.
Little mix up there, but Countryside able to get a couple of yards out of it. As we want to remind you, if you're looking for all the best sound bites from the press conferences each week from the Tampa Bay Bucks and from the USF Bulls, Catch 47 is the place to be. John Gruden's press conference every Monday live right here on Catch 47. Here's Schmelik, and nearly picked off. Right there was Bryce Wilson, and he would have had a long way to run the other way. We'll take one more look.
Simple hitch outside. They've tried it 3 or 4 times. They haven't been super successful tonight. Now, again, he catches that ball, throws it without getting the laces. Again, I do not like catching the ball out of shotgun and needing to throw those quick hitches. And you really have to catch and release, but it's hard to get the ball in your hand properly. Now, that inside guy, the inside linebacker comes off of the slot receiver and steps in front of it now. So what do you do next time? You go up the seam, or you connect on that slant like they missed earlier in the game and make a big play out of it because those guys are cheating.
Well,
cheating in a good way. That's not cheating. I mean, that's the term you use when you try to get outside and catch up in front of somebody.
This Gibbs team still putting the pieces together after losing some pretty good athletes to graduation. Marcus Russ now at Georgia Southern. 4 catches against the Georgia Bulldogs. Lamar Hall starting at Murray State on defense, then Devin McCullough. And that's not even including Larry Murphy, who was the best offensive player last year whenever we were here as Gibbs took on Largo. A lot of talent going through this Gibbs High School every year. As a pickup from 2 yards, Jarvis West continues to get the football. Does kind of look like Jaquez Green there, minus those dreads coming out of his helmet.
I think Jaquez's hair was quite long at one point.
I don't remember it being
Never
long.
did?
No.
I don't know. I'll have to ask him.
Back in the 90s, that wasn't the style. Here's Rember, looking long. Got a man out there, but a good play defensively by Aaron Tam to knock it away.
Wow, it sure was. It looked like David Washington was out there for the ball. He actually was out there, but Tam comes in here at the last minute, makes a textbook maneuver back there from the secondary. Could have caught it. He ends up, batting it down. He could have caught that ball, and that's why he was upset with himself. But that was a great recovery job to get out there and get that ball knocked down. Here comes another 3rd and 8. Here's where they've struggled. They've got to try to sustain a drive after one of these longer 3rd down conversions.
Rember, it's going to be incomplete. Good job by this Countryside defense to hold when the momentum is clearly on Gibbs' side. And Rember tonight, only 2 of 6 passing, so the Countryside defense and that guy right there, Mike Selke, able to do a good job containing Gibbs. So 4th down and 8.
Last year, Gibbs scored 3 touchdowns on special teams. I talked about it in my corner about that happening, and so far that has been the only good thing to happen. They actually returned one earlier. Remember that too. That would have been 2 tonight on special teams. And here comes another.
He dropped the ball, and there goes Allen Russell. A flag is down, though. They'll stop this play. You cannot advance a punt in high school football after it has been touched. So I believe it will be Gibbs' ball.
Yeah, it should be. It was a true, unless they say that there was somebody in front. There's no yellow flags. Should be. What's the referee pointing at? He's not pointing for possession. I think he's moving the sticks. That should be Gibbs' ball. We remember last week we learned that the Land O'Lakes had a muff punt and they got returned for a touchdown, but they had to put the ball down.
Well, let's see if, sounds like, Jeff, the whistle was blown a little bit prematurely here. Let's listen in.
Well, they wouldn't be able to return it on a muff. That is a referee error, but it should be Gibbs' ball right at the spot because it was a fair catch that he muffed.
What is it?
They're bringing the ball.
We have the option. Yeah, we kicked it. We kicked it.
It looks
They're
like
bringing
Gibbs
the ball
is
all the way back. He muffed that from the start.
The options are going to be to
They're
re-kick
going
it or take the play from
to say
back
that this
here.
is penalty. Is this a penalty?
No, ball. No, sir. Once we have the whistle,
confusion
stop
here on the
everything.
field,
So,
and
re-kick it.
surprised that we haven't had at least an explanation.
He better explain because this is interesting.
Here it comes.
Could be a big turning point.
So by an official. By rule, we're going to go back and re-kick 4th down.
So the premature whistle.
He did blow the whistle while the fumble was still happening. So I understand that. He muffed it, so it should have been free to be recovered. But because the whistle was blown while he muffed it, and it was still a loose ball, then you'd have to say that the Countryside Cougars, nobody knew what to do. So you have to say they're going to redo it. So it's basically do it again. This is really unfortunate for Gibbs.
Wow. I believe Yusuf Shakir just went to his band and told them to not blow a whistle. I don't know if he thinks it came from the band. It sounded like it came from the
whistles.
field.
There was an initial whistle, obviously, but there were multiple whistles happening. So we can run it one more time. Let's let everybody see and hear what happened. I don't know if a whistle came from the stands.
Let's take one more look, and let's try and listen in here.
That sounds like a referee's whistle. That doesn't sound like a whistle from the stands. Now we're walking it back.
Well, we've never seen this.
This is
in the 3
new
years
for us
that we've been doing high school football here. So learn something new every week.
And now the marker has been moved a few yards up.
And the crowd here is really,
I think we're all kind of confused at this point, including the refs.
Yeah. So let's do this one more time. 4th down. Shorter just wants to let it bounce. And it's going to take a gladiator bounce inside the 30. And they'll down it at the 29-yard line. The Catch 47 game of the week. The next 2 weeks, double headers right here on your home for high school football. As next week we head up to Tarpon Springs as Eastlake visits the Spongers. Then on Friday, it's Manatee at Southeast as we head down to Manatee County for that historic rivalry. That's all next week on Catch 47. And we also want to remind everybody, tomorrow night we are in Nature Coast as the Game of the Week crew heads up to Nature Coast Tech. It's Nature Coast hosting Springstead. 5:54 left to go in this third quarter. Countryside leading 14-8. Drew Felios along with Jeff Carlson here at Gibbs High School. After some confusion, it looks like things have settled down. 14-8, Countryside leading. Cougars have the football. On 1st down and 10, Schmelnick hands it off, and it's a pickup of 3 yards on 1st down.
Coach Davis said that they've been doing the no-huddle offense, and they've been getting closer to 80 plays a game off from the offensive side versus 50 last year. But now when you're in a situation like this, when you are nursing a lead, do you keep it going? And you see them, they are huddling up right now. You slow the clock down and give them less possessions. You don't want to go 3 quick plays and then punt the ball back and keep giving West more opportunities.
2nd and 6. And Terry Johnson has looked impressive tonight. 11 carries, 56 yards now for Johnson. One thing about this Gibbs team, they keep on fighting until the final buzzer. They proved that to us last year when they took on Largo, but this team just simply never gives up.
No doubt about that. Keep coming at you. Watching Countryside play, I wouldn't mind seeing Johnson and Roberts in the same backfield, split them and run that quick little passing game, but then, snap it out to those 2 guys on little screens and hitches and swings.
Good play defensively.
Gibbs stood up strong.
It was Tim Jackson making the stop, along with that guy right there, Russell Allen.
Russell Allen's had some big plays. He almost took that muff punt back. Like we said, you cannot advance a muff punt. But that whistle turned things around for Gibbs. They should have had that ball right there at the 40-yard line going in. Here comes another 4th down, and Jarvis West has already returned 2. Only one of them counted. We'll see how many more opportunities they give him. Drew, I'm reading Tony Dungy's book, And a couple of the things he talks about mistakes he's made as a coach or has learned from was kicking to some good kick returners. You know, I might start kicking that.
High snap, and Kondodiakis has to run and get it. Can he get it off? He does, and a miraculous play by Pete Kondodiakis, although it does take a Gibbs bounce, and Countryside will have to down it at the 42-yard line. It's a 5-yard punt, but still a heck of a play by Pete Kondodiakis after not being able to reel it in.
I think miraculous was the right adjective, Drew. I think that, you know, we're talking about being disciplined in special teams. They've already had 2 kicks returned, and this was, again, no discipline, but that was miraculous to get that ball off. He's looking up, can't get a handle on it, and still was able to get that ball away. But you know what? Let's call this justice, because after that inadvertent whistle, this is right where Gibbs should have had the ball about 5-10 minutes ago.
Jarvis West on first down. Blake Johnson makes the stop. So a good opportunity here for Gibbs with great field position to put points on the scoreboard, and keep in mind a touchdown ties it. An extra point would give Gibbs the lead. Here's Rember. Gets it out to his favorite guy, Jarvis West. They want to get it to him in space.
They never got set, though, Drew. That's coming back. It'll be a 5-yard penalty again. You know, they make positive plays. This wasn't a big positive play, but they got the ball outside and to their guys, but they were moving around at the snap of the ball.
Eagle shift on the offense. Penalties decline. 3rd down.
So that brings up 3rd down and 9 after the penalty. And for Gibbs, this may be 4-down territory. 4 wideouts. Here's Rember. Tons of time to throw. And overshoots his man. He was looking for West, but it was well played. Andrew Davis was right there roaming around in the secondary.
Still too much time on the clock for 4-down territory, Drew. But think about this. This is the perfect position on the football field to go for a 4th down when you have Jarvis West as your punter. You know, he takes that around the corner and goes the distance or does something special like that. But 4th and 9 is a little bit long on 4th. But that is something to keep an eye out for right now. And Countryside recognizes that and brings their punt returner back up.
Oh, yeah. There he goes. You called it, Jeff. He'll throw it, and just a little bit too far. He had Russell Allen out there, but overshot him. But a good play as a flag is down right now at the 34-yard line.
Illegal downfield, decline, turns it over to Countryside. I thought they would run this ball. I thought he was actually going to punt it from out here. Didn't see what he liked. Go ahead and punt it away. But they had men downfield trying to block. So you decline that penalty,
downfield,
turn it over, 1st down.
Decline. 1st down, ball goes over.
So Yusuf Shakir continues to pull out all the stops here. And what has developed into an awesome rivalry between Gibbs and Countryside. Now the Cougars will have possession of the football, leading by 6. Countryside controlled this game for most of the first half. Schmelik got it started, running in for a touchdown. Then coming out of the locker room in the 3rd quarter, it was Terry Johnson with a touchdown run. Gibbs answered back with a Jarvis West return. And that's where we are right now, 14-8. Here's Johnson again. Pickup of 1 yard. Right there to make the stop, Jerry Daniels.
Is Dorrance Roberts healthy? Do we know if he might be injured?
He has not gotten a lot of carries lately, and it looks like,
yeah, just by the way he's moving, he's not 100%.
Yeah, he's trying to loosen something up on those sidelines. Here's Shorter, and Todd Shorter takes a pop at midfield. Oh man, didn't see who laid that one down. But I'd like to see that play one more time.
Well, it goes back to that screen we talked about. This is what John Davis does, and they run those screens well. This brings it up 3rd and 1, a long one, and this is where Countryside has actually struggled on these real short. So Shorter goes up the field, comes back, sets it up well, takes the shot there, and brings it up a short one. But like I said, this is where they've struggled to pick up the short yardage. Gibbs has done a good job on the defensive front trying to stop these short yardage plays.
So 3rd down and 1, big play for the Cougars. And they'll give it to Johnson. 1st down, Countryside. '60th rushing yard of the night for Terry Johnson. And hard to believe when you look at Johnson, he is just a sophomore as we look at Dorrance Roberts, who has looked uncomfortable on that sideline now for the past few minutes, as this sophomore right here puts the Countryside offense on his shoulders for the time being. Johnson gets another carry, pickup of 2.
Terry Johnson is a good-looking athlete, only a sophomore, and he's listed at 6 foot, 185 pounds. He looks thicker, built through the legs and the hips. He's going to be a tough guy to bring down as he grows up.
Alton Taylor lines up next to Schmeling. 4 wide receivers in the game. Gives to Taylor. Alton Taylor. Good hard running. 8 yards. And it's going to be a 3rd down now and 2. 20 yards tonight rushing for number 5.
Do it all over again. 3rd and a long one. Last time they got in their power I formation like they do when they're down in the goal line area, and they handed it to the front back. Let's see if they diversify. It seems like both these offensive coordinators want to do something different every time they get into a similar situation. They don't want to do the same old thing. So we'll see if they handed it to their front back going through, and he was able to pick it up. Johnson is one of the front backs here.
Schmeling pitches it. And it's Taylor again. He's got a 1st down, and he gets it to the 30-yard line as we near the end of this 3rd quarter. Man, this Countryside offense running up 181 rushing yards. Keep in mind, they've only got 2 returning starters on this unit from last year. This Countryside offense, I'd love to see them next year. I think they're going to be tremendous.
I bet we'll see them next year.
14-8, your score. 4, the number held up both sidelines. We're back on the game of the week right after this. Drew Felios, Jeff Carlson here for quarter number 4, Gibbs and Countryside. It all comes down to this. In the past, the Cougars, known for their high-flying air attack. Look at these guys and the numbers they put up. Harrison Beck, L.D. Crow, big-time Division I quarterbacks. Last year, a little bit of an adjustment for Countryside. Not as much through the air with Jimbo Schmeling and Ryan Epps. And we've seen more of a ground game here tonight from Countryside than we've ever been accustomed to. Well, right now, Alton Taylor's running hard, as well as Terry Johnson. Dorrance Roberts a little bit shaken up on the sideline, it appears. Let's see if Countryside continues the ground game here as we head into this 4th quarter. 2nd down and 8. They pitch it to Taylor. Looking for a block, and he heads out of bounds at about the 27-yard line.
And the clock keeps running as it goes out of bounds in the 4th quarter here.
Now, one thing that really stands out also about these Cougars, they usually run about 50 plays from scrimmage on offense. Last week they ran 79 plays. So that was one of our keys early in the game. Countryside, man, their offensive players look like sometimes they do get tired. And of course they've got good excuse, getting a lot of work in there. Here's another one of those screens, and it's picked off. Here's Russell Allen, end-to-end. Touchdown, Gladiators.
That's about the 3rd big play for Allen. This one comes off of a screen. This is what they do so well. Usually Countryside runs these, and these are low risk football plays. But this one sneaks off the corner of the receiver's arm, and Allen is there to make a great catch. Watch him reach down and make this catch. Smellick just throws a little screen pass. That's just an easy catch and throw and catch. Allen snags off the ground a lot like Franco Harris. You know what? He runs like Franco Harris, and he goes with the immaculate reception all the way back to tie this ball game up. And as we mentioned, they went for 2 the first score. This could give them the lead right here with 10:56 left.
Critical extra point, and it is no good, as Jarvis West cannot kick it through to give Gibbs the lead. So right now we are all knotted at 14 points. And Jeff Carlson, you mentioned this guy right here, Russell Allen. He makes this interception and runs the other way. Allen actually first in the district in the 300 hurdles. So he's a track and field star as well.
Well, Goodlow catches it. He doesn't catch this. Like I said, he grabs it off the ground, races it back. He's the guy that's made 3 or 4 very big plays for Gibbs tonight.
So Russell Allen has tied this game up, and we've got a ball game here at Gibbs High School, possibly another Catch 47 Classic.
It could be. Not the prettiest football game in the world. There's been better classic football games, but as we get down to this, the way that Gibbs has scored their points has been very interesting.
These Gladiators, man, they get their points from all angles, special teams and defense. Ruling the roost tonight. They have not scored an offensive touchdown. But, Jeff, you mentioned how it's been kind of an ugly game. Gibbs,
I didn't use the word ugly, Drew.
Well,
you did.
When you think about it, Gibbs should be ahead by a lot more. You saw the block that brought back the touchdown. And then you've had some miscues by Josh Rembert. One right there that could have been Gibbs football. When you really add it all up, man, Gibbs has had some opportunities tonight. They could be leading by a lot more.
Could be. Well, now, Countryside's been sitting on this football for quite some time, and it's a tie ball game, so they don't have to do anything special. But it'll be interesting to see them play now with the tie as than they were with the lead.
They hand it off, and it's Jalen Goodlow. Goodlow, one of the fastest players on this Countryside team, able to get 8 yards and slip through that defense. As a flag now is down, looks like it's going to be a hold.
And Goodlow is the guy that wasn't able to pull in that screen pass. But that screen pass was a good football play, so they need to go back to it. And sometimes when you're calling plays and something bad happens, you say, oh, we better not run that play again. But it was a good play.
Holding.
Just didn't
on
catch the ball.
10-yard penalty from the spot. Replay first down.
And again, remember, in pro football, holding is a 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. This is a 10-yard penalty from where the penalty happened, so it's an even bigger penalty.
Here's Schmellick. Good job by Jimbo Schmellick, and he may have a Cougars first down. Boy,
he's just getting it back to the original line of scrimmage, so it'll be second and about 10.
That's right. So 10 yards on the pickup.
Yeah, it's about a 15-yard or more penalty. Nice little play. They really haven't run this inside to the quarterback. That's Tim Tebow's football play right there. You get an extra blocker because your quarterback can run with the football. That was a nice hole up front, and see if they go back to it later in this drive.
That was a pickup of 15 yards by Schmellick. 2nd and 10. Under pressure. Schmellick unloads it. And is this one intercepted? No, incomplete. Boy, it was intended for John Vavarakis, but that was a very dangerous pass in a crowd.
Screen, yeah. I would say, hey, go back to it. It was a good play. They go to screen to the other side, looking like they were trying to throw it to shorter, but either the ball was thrown too far inside or the receiver was blocked from getting to the spot that he was supposed to, but it almost looked like it was going to be an interception going the other way again.
So 3rd down and 10. Cougars roll Schmelik to the right. And a good throw and catch. And there's your man, Jeff, Todd Shorter, who needs to come up big here in the fourth quarter for the Cougars.
Well, he did. He picked up an extra yard or two more than he needed. That was a big throw and a big catch to keep this drive alive.
Todd Shorter, again, only his second year playing football. He's caught on very quick. A lot of confidence and leadership for this Countryside team. Here's Dorrance Roberts. And a pickup of 1 yard. Flying around for this Gibbs defense is Gary Gaynor, an impressive player. Only a junior. And again, reminds Coach Shakir of a guy by the name of Reggie Nelson. You remember, played for the University of Florida, drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I was going to say, he's a great professional football player.
2nd and 8. Schmelik, good fake. And Jimbo Schmelik near a first down for Countryside.
Looks like it'll be about 6 inches short. Very nice move. Puts the ball out. Looks like he's going to try to pitch it. Makes a nice move to the inside and picks up nice yardage. Bring it, like I said, about 6 inches. Maybe we'll see when they finally spot it, but it's very close to the first down.
That was a pickup of 9. And it's 3rd and inches now for this Countryside offense. Keep an eye on the clock, under 9 minutes. As we set the stage here for what could be another classic finish at Gibbs High School.
And now remember, Griswold, the kicker for Countryside, has had success in the past. So far this year, 2008, has not been good to him. He may get an opportunity to turn that around in a short order.
Well, Jeff Carlson, it was a week of surprises last week in week 1 as several teams and games made us raise our eyebrows, including, how about Lake Gibson getting beaten by Kathleen, a very young Kathleen team, taking the Braves down easily. St. Petersburg, the team we saw in the Jamboree game over Robinson, destroying Northeast. Spoto High School, very talented with Dale Caparasso up there, shutting out Newsom. And then Sun Lake High School in Pasco County getting the very first win of their entire football existence over River Ridge, 1910. A lot of parity in high school football now, it seems.
Still a lot of transferring. A lot of guys moving around from year to year.
3rd down and 1. And they give it to Johnson, and Johnson stumbles forward, and it looks like he picks up a Countryside first down. Boy, this Countryside line has got some beef. There's big number 70, Brandon Somerville. He goes 325 pounds. That's what an NFL offensive lineman should weigh.
He uses it well. We saw him on the goal line run for the touchdown. He cleared the way. Talked about the sophomore, Tyler Moore. They listed him at 250, 6'5". He's going to be a lot bigger than that in the next couple years.
And flags come down. Looks like Countryside was not set.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
But it's funny, Jeff, how, Countryside traditionally has the reputation of a program that airs it out play after play. Tonight we've seen very much a ball-controlled style, and Coach Davis playing behind his big offensive line. Here's Dorrance Roberts, takes the pitch. Roberts trying to give these Cougars a lift. He gets it back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 9.
We mentioned the 2 starters on offense is Joe Cruz and Jimbo Schmelik. So, he's starting over again, and it's the 2nd game of the season. So they got to feel it out and see where their talent starts to come from.
Schmelik from the shotgun. They roll him out again. He's done this a lot tonight. Looks for Todd Shorter, and it's incomplete. On the coverage, number 19, James Irvin. Shorter's been the most active receiver tonight for the Cougars.
I thought they might try to do something different on that. That's the 3rd time they've rolled him out to the right and thrown the out route on the sideline. I thought maybe they go the out and up or do something a little different to mix it up. This time he just a little off target.
3rd down and 9. Out of the gun is Schmelik. He dumps it to Roberts. 1st down Cougars, and Roberts wants more. Still dragging tacklers. What a run by Dorrance Roberts as he gets it across inside the 20-yard line, and the Cougars are fired up.
Wow, and the one thing you do have to be careful of is you're pulling guys, but for as long as you continue to move forward, it's a live play, and guys are just digging at the football. This is the first time that they've really thrown to the screen to the running back just right in the middle of the field. Picks up the big 1st down, but he keeps going. You just think there's guys grabbing at that football, and as long as he's moving forward, it's live, and all of a sudden that ball pops out and goes the other direction. But great job by Dorrance Roberts picking up that 1st down.
Here's Schmelik looking for a block, and running behind his lineman. He's going to have a pickup of 4 yards. 6 carries now, 32 yards for Jimbo Schmelik. And you know who I'd like to see the ball thrown to maybe a little bit more is Big Tyler Moore. 6'5", 250 pounds, the sophomore who we saw back on the other end.
I'm thinking he is a red zone target. They're going to get conservative in the red zone, and they might break out number 90 when they get closer to the end zone.
Alton Taylor slashing inside, picking up a couple. It's going to bring up a 3rd down for Countryside, and keep in mind field goal kicking from William Griswold has been very inconsistent this year for the Cougars.
Taylor's been very impressive tonight, the junior.
I'm telling you, next year, this Countryside team's going to be loaded. But that's next year. This is tonight.
Countryside seems to make it onto our game of the week. Well, I'm sure we'll see them next year.
3rd down and 4. Schmelik fakes. Got some room and hits his man for the touchdown as big number 80, Richard Shockley, makes the catch, and the Cougars have taken the lead.
We talked about Shockley being a defensive player this year. He scored 6 touchdowns last year doing the same type of thing. Break him out. We talked about number 90 maybe being in the red zone. Shockley gets outside, accurate pass, nobody defending. Easy touchdown.
He's done that throughout his Countryside career. Plays more on defense this year, but Shockley comes through when the Cougars need him most. Here's the extra point, and it's up and good. So Griswold boots it through, and Countryside now with the 7-point lead. If Gibbs is going to tie this game, Countryside forcing them to do it on offense.
Again, the lefty rolling out. He's been accurate on the move tonight, and this one no different, and scores the easy touchdown to Shockley. Takes a 7-point lead. Drew, here's the deal. First of all, again, being disciplined in special teams, that has certainly not happened for Countryside tonight. Do you kick the ball out of bounds to not give up a big play, but you obviously give them better field position for doing it. Gibbs has not sustained an offensive drive all night. Can they do it with 5:41 left in the game?
Well, Jimbo Schmelik has done a good job tonight in front of a TV audience. There's his numbers, over 100 yards passing, has 1 interception, but also a touchdown. But again, not necessarily the numbers, but his leadership and simply keeping it together for this Cougars team.
Don't forget the interception was a screen pass that bounced off the pad, so that one doesn't go against him tonight. Pretty clean.
Boy, I can tell you're a quarterback, huh?
Well, you got it. Hey, my pro statistics were not very impressive, and I had to throw quite a few Hail Marys that were intercepted, unfortunately.
David Washington covers the kick. And Yusuf Shakir right now on the sideline looks like he wanted Washington to give that one a shot on a return.
Well, that's their offense. You definitely don't want to give it up and just fall on the ground. You got to go for it.
We'll take a water break here on Catch 47. Gibbs and Countryside. A 7-point lead for the Cougars on the Game of the Week. Catch 47 Game of the Week here at Gibbs High School, Countryside and Gibbs. The next 6 minutes decides who's going to come out on top. Right now, the Cougars with the 7-point lead. It's been an entertaining football game. We've seen a little bit of everything. Offense, defense.
We're seeing something different, Drew. West is the quarterback.
Here's Jarvis West. Most active player with the football tonight for Gibbs. Countryside, though, able to sniff that one out. As Richard Shockley right now looks on, gets a breather, but Jeff Carlson tonight, I think number 80 could be the MVP for the Cougars.
Sure, he saved a touchdown earlier against West on a punt return. You see him here on the sack and catches the touchdown. That's the one I was talking about. And been very active on defense, was the MVP last week of the team, and now catches the go-ahead score.
Here's West again.
I don't think they can beat Countryside with this attack.
I think the Cougars are too well coached to be beaten by one guy.
Right, that's basically the way it's turning out. Now Rembert runs into the football game. It's 3rd and 6, so they're going to throw the football potentially here as West comes out here into the left slot. We'll see what they do with it, if they screen it or they try to go up the field.
Bunch formation for Gibbs. Rembert's got some options, but it's incomplete as it goes off the pads of Charles Roney.
I was watching Roney catch passes in pregame. Very, very natural receiver. This is something that they do not see from him very often, but goes right off his fingertips. Good throw by Rembert.
I believe Gibbs wants to go for this on a 4th down and 6. Let's see if the Gladiators try and move the chains. I think Jaquez Green liked what he saw on that last play.
Well, Drew, they have to, because Countryside has been controlling the ball so well on the ground and killing the clock. They do need to go for this because they won't get the ball back.
Rembert under pressure, and he's going to go down. As they're going to call that an incomplete pass, actually a sack. They're going to say he was in the grass at the 29-yard line, so it's disaster for the Gladiators, and Countryside right now starting to celebrate.
And we talk about needing to make plays within the pocket, and that was Countryside's number one thing, was to keep control and contain of Rembert, and they were able to do that all night tonight. This may not be the last time he touches the ball, but on 4th down and when all the marbles were there, they were able to contain him and was not able to even get a pass off.
Well, there's still 4 minutes, 15 seconds to go, so we're not done just yet. Big Tyler Walker doing a good job tonight. He's just a junior. It's Countryside's football game to lose right now, as Pendergrast gets the carry on 1st down.
And this is what they've been able to do. You know, like I said, no huddle for what they are trying to do for the game. But now they have a clock. You saw the coach in the maroon shirt come in. That's the clock watcher. He's counting 25 seconds from when the referee blows the whistle each time. We're getting a stoppage of the clock right here by the referee, but that's what they are looking for so that they can run as much time off of every single play and get out of here with the win on a Thursday night.
Well, earlier we took a look at the road ahead for Countryside. How about for Gibbs? After tonight, Gladiators have to go to Northeast. Then they got Dixie. They'll take on Clearwater, St. Pete, and Seminole. 3 home games in a row right there. Then head to Pinellas Park. Largo Packers after that. Then Bogosiega. So the home and away games very much in bunches on the Gibbs schedule this year.
3 games at the end of the season on the road. 2 are district games. That's tough.
Yeah. It was interesting also, as we'll watch this play, 2nd down and 7. I formation for the Cougars with Todd Shorter in motion. Here's Dorrance Roberts. About 4 to 5 yards up the middle. Jeff Carlson, we were talking with Yusuf Shakir during the week, and he emphasized the importance of 7-on-7 football and what that's meant to his football team. It's amazing, though, not all the coaches we talk to in high school football are believers of 7-on-7 football. Some coaches say it's unrealistic and it's a waste of time, but these 2 coaches, Yusuf Shakir and John Davis, big supporters of it.
It is unrealistic, but it's certainly not a waste of time. Anytime you can get your players together and actually get to coach them in the off season, it's unbelievable the amount of time that they can now spend with their players, and it is certainly not a waste of time. Players can develop and can emerge, can build confidence. Lots of things that are positive things for your football team happen during those off-season 7-on-7s.
And if you're wondering what these 7-on-7s are, it has really become a growing thing here during the summers where USF will have a big camp and they'll attract high schools from all over the Bay Area. Guys like Jimbo Schmelik will get to play against kids from Kathleen High School and Land O'Lakes High School, kids that you would never get to play with during the fall. And it's a great thing not just for the offenses, but Yusuf Shakir says for Gibbs, they use a lot of the defenses that they use here tonight come from 7-on-7.
Yeah, no doubt about that. I think they had 46 teams at the USF Sling and Shoot, and now, you know, the big sponsors, the Nikes get involved. They had Plant, it was in the paper that Plant went out to Oregon against 7 other of the biggest schools or the best schools in the country, and they won both tournaments. Plant won both tournaments. They do a great job with their 4 wide receiver package. They've been doing that for a long time. A lot of other schools are starting to get into it and not quite up to that speed, and we saw some of that tonight, just not quite up to it yet. But it is definitely a valuable resource.
4th down and 2. Big play for the Cougars. Schmelik flushed, and he's sacked. As he's ridden out at the 32, and careful there as Schmelik ran onto the track. He was pushed out by Bryce Wilson, number 32.
Good job at least holding on to the ball, not turning it over, but could have thrown the ball out of bounds to save about an 8-yard loss. 4th down and 2, they did a good job. Tyler Moore slows down, trying to find a hole in there because they had somebody already out there. It's scary out there slipping around with your cleats on the hard track surface. But here it is, 2:44 left. One more shot.
Same position that Gibbs was in last year on the Catch 47 Game of the Week, except a touchdown here and an extra point will tie.
But Coach Green goes with the true quarterback behind center this time.
And Rembert's first pass is complete. And on that throw, Josh Rembert looked as settled and as confident as he has the entire game.
Yep, in the last series, they went with Jarvis West as the quarterback and ran the ball. Didn't work. This time they just, real simple play, but he looked good, released it on time. First down.
Last year it was Lamar Hall. Tonight, is it going to be Josh Rembert? Second throw. Dropped. Wanted Quentin McLaurin that time, but couldn't hit him.
They just had uncharacteristic drops tonight, Drew. These guys can run and catch and throw pretty well, but they just have not just been in sync tonight.
2nd and 10. Rembert looking for his receiver. Let's see if he can separate. And a flag comes down as we may get pass interference on Countryside.
In high school, if it is, it'll be a 15-yard penalty and a first down, but not the play that in the pros where you would take it at the spot.
Still, it would be a big help for the Gladiators.
Hard to understand how you let a guy get behind you at this point in the football game, but he was out there. David Washington was deep.
On the defense, 10-yard penalty. It's going to result in a first down.
They didn't call it pass interference because the ball was not in the air yet when Tam was doing a little bit of extracurricular holding on David Washington deep.
So first down and 10. Gibbs with some new life. Here's West in some space. And Jarvis West has a Gibbs first down. And all of a sudden, the Gladiators are knocking on the door. They'll spot it at the 35.
And Richard Shockley playing sideline to sideline gets over here and puts a pretty good hit on him, tries to get the ball loose out of see him coming, tracking it. Makes another big play to get West down. Not an easy task.
2 catches for West tonight. He's also got 19 yards rushing, not a whole heck of a lot yards from scrimmage for Jarvis West, but he's still so dangerous every time he touches it and does have the kick return for a touchdown.
And Drew, here's one thing we know for sure. If they are able to score a touchdown, this will come down to a 2-point conversion. We know that Jarvis West will not be kicking the ball to try to tie the game and force overtime. They will be going for 2 for the win.
Well, Jeff, a couple minutes ago we looked at our top 20. Let's take one more look at it to let you comment here. Anything you see out of the ordinary or anything that's a surprise? Kathleen does move up into number 10. They were not even ranked last week, but what else stands out?
Well, I don't know Ridge Community. That's new, and that's number 9. We're going to Nature Coast tomorrow night. Have not seen them play. I don't know their game that well. I mean, we will be talking about them a lot. But as far as if they deserve to be in that top 20, hopefully so.
The throw is incomplete, and it looked like, boy, Shockley had a chance to pick that one off.
Almost had a chance to close it out as the ball bounced back off the receiver back towards Shockley. He thought he was going to. The whole sideline of Countryside jumped up in the air after they see this ball go back, and he had a good chance. He had a good shot at it, and the whole Countryside sideline jumped up in the air for it.
2nd down 10. Rembert going to be blown dead.
Well, did Shockley go across, or did they jump because of it?
The offense. 5-yard penalty, replay 2nd down.
Shockley was threatening the blitz and looked like, I think the lineman jumped just a bit trying to react to it.
That's a tough penalty. Coming on this final drive. Second down 15. A lot of pressure on Josh Rembert here. Tries to dump it off, and it's knocked away as Craig McManus, the linebacker who's a senior, made a senior play.
Great time to use your star player as a decoy. Number 4, Mark Edwards, the senior, was swinging out to the right side with nobody worried about him. They know where number 5 is coming out. Number 4 had a great chance to make some big plays, but here's 3rd down 15. Jarvis West far out to the right. Furthest receiver out to the right. We'll see what they do.
Rembert slings it out to West, and that's not going to be enough. Countryside was waiting for it. This is going to bring up a 4th down now for the Gladiators, and desperation time for the guys in blue.
Well, we thought on the last drive, we said one man can't win the game for them, and now instead of being the quarterback, they're trying to do it from the receiver position. The kid's a special player, but it is tough going against 11 guys. If you know one guy's going to get it, we'll see if Jock West comes up with a different idea on this basically last desperation play.
4 wide receivers in the game. Here's Rembert, and it's knocked away as number 44, Derek Wolfenbarger, was able to get that big left hand on it, and Countryside starting to smell victory here at Gibbs High School.
They sat back. They didn't get a lot of pressure. Shockley gets pressure. As I say, they don't get pressure. Shockley got great pressure, got his hand on him before Rembert was able to release that ball, but they played back and were able to knock it down to ice this football game.
Craig McManus also there to make the play as Yusuf Shakir. Tough break here at Gibbs High School. Gladiators had their chances tonight. But this has got to be a huge confidence boost to Countryside as well. They'll head to St. Pete next week, and that St. Pete game looked like it'd be an easy game probably at the beginning of the year. Not anymore the way the Green Devils are playing. As we've got a minute to go now, clock will stop. John Davis will talk it over, and once again, Jeff Carlson puts on his running shoes, heading down to the field. Well, keep in mind tomorrow night, the Catch 47 Game of the Week crew heads up to Hernando County. Jeff Carlson will be coming with us, of course, as Nature Coast hosts Springstead in a Northern County rivalry game that we cannot wait to be a part of. And tomorrow night, We're going to see one of the premier running backs in the entire area, a kid by the name of Tevin Drake for Nature Coast. We've heard so much about him. Going to finally get to see him under the lights on TV for the very first time. That's tomorrow night at 7:30 only on Catch 47. Pitch. And Terry Johnson, who's done some tough work tonight with 2 yards on the right side. 19 carries, 72 yards for Terry Johnson. Not an explosive back, but has moved the chains when Countryside has needed him to. Every night on Catch 47, Monday nights specifically, the Beef O'Brady's High School Scoreboard, the Bay Area's only high school sports show. A week's worth of high school sports all summed up in 1/2 hour. Highlights, interviews, stats, more than any other show. The Beef O'Brady's High School Scoreboard, Mondays, only on Catch 47. As a flag does come down, and Countryside right now celebrating on that far side. The Cougars so excited that they get
On
to
the
avenge.
offense, 5-yard penalty, still third. They got to snap it.
Cougars will avenge that heartbreaking loss to Gibbs last year. 20 seconds to go. Schmelik will take a knee, and that could be the last play. Both sides of the sidelines tonight, Countryside and Gibbs putting 110% into this effort. One team had to come up short, and unfortunately for the Gladiators, it was the home team. 21-14, Countryside beats Gibbs. When we come back, we'll talk to our Catch 47 player of the game. Plus, later on the broadcast, Coach John Davis from Countryside joins us down on the sideline. We'll be right back to wrap this up when we come back.
Player of the game, Richard Shockley. We talked about him being a defensive standout, but he comes up with the game-winning touchdown as well. Talk to us about the night overall.
Oh, it was a great night, man. We came out here. We knew Gibbs was going to come out and play tough. It's going to be a tough game. A lot of people were doubting us. We decided we wanted to come in and prove something to the rest of the county, and I think we did that tonight.
You know, just finishing this football game, it wasn't the prettiest game we've ever called here, but the emotion that you guys are having right now in the end zone. Talk to me about the emotion tonight.
Oh, man, we love to play football. We came out here. We were saying all game, this is why we love to play. It's a close game, good, you know. We thought we were playing a lot better than the close score, but we had to come in, we played tough, and we let our emotions take over.
Last year, you gave up 3 touchdowns on special teams. Jarvis West is a special player.
Yeah,
you made a special play on a punt return to stop them from having another kick return, but still, what was going on? And just talk to me about how you prepared for that.
Oh, we knew Jarvis was a great football player. He has some speed, quickness, real fast guy. He's not too big, but he's fast. And we came out tonight. We wanted to shut him down. He was one of the main things, and we knew on his return game he was a great returner. So we tried to get down there, took one back on us, but luckily we got it called back, and then he took another kickoff back on us. So we did our best, but it was a tough job, but I think we did pretty well.
Did you guys bring losing to this team last year, that emotion into this game, or is this looking forward, as you said, to the county? Is this looking forward to the county and the schedule coming up?
Oh, it's a little bit of both. That loss last year was real sour. It was salt and wounds, and we knew it was going to be a tough game, but and we also want to look forward to this season because we know we have a lot to prove, so it's a little bit of both.
Well, Richard Shockley, you are our Catch 47 player of the game. You deserved it on both sides of the football. Congratulations. All right, that is Richard Shockley. And we'll be right back with Coach Davis and Drew Felios down here on the field.
Make it 2 in a row for Countryside on the Catch 47 Game of the Week. They beat Clearwater last year, and they come here to Gladiators Country to top Gibbs 21-14. Drew Felios, Jeff Carlson, and the winning head coach, John Davis from Countryside High School. Coach, that game had a little bit of everything. You score 3 times offensively. They didn't score an offensive touchdown, and yet you're still tied in the fourth quarter.
Absolutely, and it's going down to the last play, you know. And but I can't say enough about our defense. Our defense just played absolutely lights out tonight. We were so worried about Gibbs' speed and how they throw the football and those kind of things, and we got pressure and kept that quarterback contained, and we did a good job in the secondary. Our coaches did a great job coming up with a defensive scheme, and hey, the kids went out and executed tonight, and that's really the secret to the win tonight.
Coach, you went out and you contained, remember, which is what you wanted to do. But you gave up 3 touchdowns last year on special teams and almost lost this football game on special teams again tonight. What were you thinking about as you guys prepared, and then what happened
Well,
tonight?
as I said to the coaches over the phones, I am the worst special teams coach in America, okay? But, you know, we kicked the ball. Number 5 is so fast. You don't want him with the ball. We kicked it down there. We thought we had it contained, and you know, one guy gets out of his lane and he's gone. Right. And you know, so it's a mistake that we're going to have to go back to the drawing board and correct. Okay, but you know, we missed another field goal tonight. We wanted to punt the ball out of bounds. We didn't get that done a couple times. So we got some work to do on special teams. And, you know, the good news is despite that, we came away with a win, because very seldom do you when you make those kind of mistakes.
Right. Coach, let's talk about the future now, beginning with St. Pete next week. We saw the Green Devils in their preseason game. They looked awfully good, but the rest of the schedule too, beginning with St. Pete, what do you expect from your club?
Well, you know, we look at the schedule, and here we got Gibbs, St. Pete, Dunedin, Tarpon Springs, Bogosiega. I mean, it's just one after another, you know. So let me enjoy this one tonight before I start worrying about St. Pete. But everybody has told me, I haven't seen them yet, but everybody has told me how good they are, and they've got a couple college prospects. So it's not going to be easy. But, hey, I'm going to enjoy this one tonight.
You
Coach,
look like you're enjoying it big time.
John Davis, the head coach for Countryside. Coach, always fun. Congratulations.
Thank you, fellas, for doing this.
We thought we'd spotlight you tonight. Your only game in town. Good job.
The winning coach, head coach John Davis, watching his kids tonight playing a complete football game. This, one of the high points of the game for Gibbs, as they get the touchdown return by West. And all of a sudden, it was 14-14. That actually made it 14-7. That tied the score right there. An amazing play.
Yeah, just a simple screen pass. They do it so well at Countryside. This one just pops out of his hands. And that man, number 34, had a big night tonight for Gibbs.
But Countryside doesn't panic. The touchdown throw to Richard Shockley right there from Jimbo Schmelik. And Countryside able to hold on defense. Final score, 21-14. Countryside over Gibbs. Final stats here from Gladiators Country. Look at the rushing yards. Man, oh man, Gibbs has got to get better in that category.
Doesn't look like it should have been a 7-point ball game, but we talked about those special teams being special for the Gladiators. Countryside really dominated the ball on the ground and through the air, but just couldn't make it pay very many times.
If you add that up, nearly 10 times more total yards for Countryside than Gibbs. On one hand, it's a positive for Gibbs because they found out how to score in other areas. Right. But on the other hand, Jeff, they've got to get this offense together.
They got to get it clicking. They got to make it simple for everybody, because they were just one step off all around the football field on offense.
Nicely done, Jeff Carlson, especially at halftime.
Oh, thank you. I've been working hard.
And tomorrow night, the Catch 47 Game of the Week crew heads up to Nature Coast Tech, as Nature Coast will host Springstead as our doubleheader continues tomorrow night right here on Catch 47. For now, as Coach Davis said, it's Countryside's time to celebrate. 21-14, Cougars beat the Gladiators. You've been watching the Catch 47 Game of the Week. We will see you tomorrow night.